Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome on in. Welcome to the stream. This is Wagworks GA, as you see in your browser, like up here. I don't know what you're watching on, or in the Twitch app. Anyway, hi, I'm Jeff. You can call me Wags, and I'm gonna do some art tonight. In case you don't know the stream, I am one half of a creative team with my wife Ashley. I'm the G in Wagworks GA. She is the A, Ashley. She writes, I draw, and we make kids comics together. I also like to do some other projects on the stream, like fan art for video games. You'll see that sometimes. Engaged in a massive D&D illustration for our library campaign group. Yeah, you'll see all sorts of stuff. I'm also going to do some of the our CoreToons, which is our educational comics that we do with a couple of other creators. Actually, let's go ahead and drop that command right now. If you want to check out our Substack, if I can, type tonight, that'll be good. Anyway, I'll be working a little bit on some of that tonight before I jump back into the D&D illustration. But yeah, we work on a few different things here. But welcome on in. I hope your week has gone well so far. Welcome to your Thursday night. Welcome to the last day of April. As many of you know, I'm a parent, and I must be doing something right, because it's probably debatable. Because tonight, before going to bed, one of the kiddos looked up to me. He's like, "Hey, Daddy, do you know what tomorrow is? Or you know what there is about tomorrow?" I'm like, "What?" She's like, "It's gonna be May." I'm like, "Yes, you are truly my child. Thank you for that." It's one of those things I remember it every April, but I forget to say it every April 30th. So it was just a proud father moment. Don't mind me just having a little bit of coffee, getting going. All right, so let's see. What do I have for announcements? Oh, this is a big one. No stream next week. While I would love to think in some ideal world I will make it up at some point, I can't guarantee that. So no stream next week. We are entering Tech Week for our kiddos theater production. It's a small community theater, but their Tech Week is very intensive. So it's every day 5-hour rehearsals. The show actually opens, I think, in a week from tonight. They're doing Disney's Descendants, which is we're looking forward to seeing that. So I will not be getting back from that show until quite late for a stream. So no stream next week. Mark that down. I'll try to put a reminder up, like a story or something like that, maybe next Thursday beforehand, just so we're all clear. But yeah, no stream next week. We're rounding out this April, where I was trying to get this D&D illustration done. Of course, after saying that I thought we were on pace last week, I barely did any work on it in the last week. I've been working on some CoreToons bits, and also just haven't had as much time to work on art stuff in the evenings in the last week. So we're a little behind. I think we still have time to get it done, but we're shifting into May. And in May, the priority is going to be getting our GDQ piece done. So for those of you who aren't familiar, Games Done Quick is also known as GDQ. They're a channel right here on Twitch. They're delightful. They're running a show right now. Twitch.tv/GamesDoneQuick. It's dedicated to speedrunning, and they run 2 major marathons every year. Awesome Games Done Quick in January, usually, and Summer Games Done Quick, usually in July. And Awesome Games Done Quick raises money for Prevent Cancer Foundation. Summer Games Done Quick raises money for Doctors Without Borders. These events typically raise anywhere from $2 to $3 million for their charities. They're awesome, and an amazing community of people who are incredibly talented in many different areas coming together. And where I come into it all is that I like to donate art as prizes. So during the stream, it's a charity marathon. So if you donate during certain blocks of time, you are entered in a raffle to win specific prizes. A lot of them are awesome custom-made art pieces by creators such as myself. I have donated everything from canvas prints to a blanket, which was that one we actually got shipped here first, and it was so comfy. It was amazing. A beach towel, which we got one of those made from, Ashley got one for me for my birthday, I believe. And it was awesome. We actually got to take it to the beach last month. It was great. What else have we done? Coffee mugs? Not this one, but I don't have one of my own coffee mugs at this point in time. Maybe this one is ready to retire. We'll see. Anyway, donated all sorts of stuff, but there's also some like incredible stuff like perler bead creations, 3D perler bead. You've got all sorts of amazing crochet and knit products, stuffies. Chirpy, hey, how's it going? I hope you're having a good night. What you up to? I'm just kind of doing my announcements, rambling a little bit. I'm talking about games done quick. Acrylic prints, metal prints. What else do they? It's just insane. Also replicas. You're getting ready to go camping. Oh, nice. So I hate to admit this. I've never camped anywhere that wasn't my parents' backyard or the backyard of one of my friends. I don't think. No, I mean, we had in high school, we went to the school forest once, but you know, it was like a camp experience, so bunks and stuff. But that's exciting. How long of a camping trip is it? I do like outdoors, actually. Oh, 3 days, nice. Are you gonna do like a lot of hiking along with it, or mainly focus on like, you know, camping setup by a lake or something? This is what I assume people do. I don't actually know that much. I just know what I see on TV. But yeah, as for Games Done Quick, I highly recommend you check them out. You can also check out their website. Or am I from the Midwest again? No, their website, gamesdonequick.com. Especially once the event kicks in, you'll be able to see all the prizes donated. But right now, they're getting ready. Tomorrow is supposed to be the release of the games list, which will be the first set of games, or the first announcement of games that they'll be running during the marathon, which starts July 5th, I think. Nice. Well, it sounds like a really good time. Excuse me. I would probably be more excited about the idea of like camping or taking my family camping if I wasn't allergic to a lot of stuff outdoors. It's all mild, but in general, it's, you know, maybe the snoring would keep, you know, bears and stuff away. I'm not sure. But it's not always a pleasant experience. But I really like the idea of camping. Anyway, that's, yeah, so starting next month, I will probably be, by the time I stream next, well underway on the Games Done Quick piece. So I plan on looking over the games list tomorrow and at least be in the process of picking out what game I'm going to create a piece for, and then deciding what format I'll do. So that we'll be rolling on it by the time I do my next stream, which will be then at latest May 14th. I'll be back. I'm always looking for chances to do extra streams and make up, but I'm not really sure how that's gonna work out. Oh, that's so nice. What kind of dog do you have? Sorry, we love dogs. We lost ours back in 2018. Unfortunately, we haven't been ready to welcome one back in. But yeah, I love dogs. So that's the biggest announcement. Our CoreToons, we're wrapping up or doing work on our last issue of the school year, which is going to be all activities based. You'll see what one of the things we're contributing for that tonight while we're working on it. That'll be out sometime mid to late May. So that'll be good. I think that's about it. I have no idea what the breed is. Light brown with a very curly tail. Ah, cute. Maybe, like how big? Because if it's like a short hair, medium size, I'm thinking maybe like a Gigantamax. I think their tails curl a little bit. But, What was I gonna say? Oh my gosh. I distracted myself. That was terrible. How could this happen to me? I need to chug that coffee. Oh yeah. The other, I want to mention, so 3-year stream anniversary is coming up. That will be July 3rd. Middle-sized dog. It could be like an Akita mix. They're cool dogs. Oh. I know what to do. Hold on. We backed this book on Kickstarter, Anatomy of Dogs. It's hilarious. Actually, it's based on a web comic, so you can see a majority of these already on your own without having backed the book. This is just kind of a collection of them, but it's a humorous guide to different dog breeds, and I believe Akita is in here. I can show you what I'm talking about if you're not familiar. Now watch as I've picked a breed that they do not have in here. They do not. Okay, well, I was very incorrect, but it's full of illustrations like this, which are just hilarious. I love how he draws the eyes. This is Dave Kellett. He is an Eisner Award nominated comic artist, but actually I can write that name in the chat. We love this book in our house. We come back to it just for so much joy and fun. But you can, at the comics, you can definitely see, and I think you might be able to buy it still. Dave Kellett is the name of the artist. So I'm guessing, I haven't searched him up on Instagram or his website, but I'm sure it's out there. Let me take a look real quick. I'm not just gonna be lazy and make you guys do it all. Okay, well, he does a daily webcomic. He does have an Instagram, which is just Dave Kellett. Easy enough. But he has not posted anything, so you won't find anything there. Yeah, he's a well-known artist. I'm apparently have just been a bit under a rock. Oh, here you go. Yeah. SheldonComics.com is another place you can find his stuff. And I'm trying to see if you can find if they have the dog breed. I see Anatomy of Monsters. Oh, he only keeps a couple years on there. Otherwise, you have to Patreon you do his Patreon to access older ones. Interesting. Okay. Well. Anatomy of Dog. Okay. Yeah, it looks like he is. A lot of it is behind a Patreon paywall, which I did not realize. But if you ask me, well worth it. But you can also find the book. We know the breed, but we think he has a little Basenji in him. Okay. Okay. The tail of one, that makes sense. They do have that one in here. I'll just share it with you. Oh yeah, I can see what you're talking about totally. Hold on, let me get back to OBS. There we go. So there, I don't know if you can really see it particularly well, but there's like all sorts of little funny comments that he's added in there. That's your dog. So like, let's see what he has to say. Has the same enthusiastic energy of a guy trying to sell you a whole house solar system. Graceful little athletes. They can destroy 3 times as much stuff with 6 times the grace. With all their sudden turns, twists, and leaps, it's like owning a graceful cat. But they have 93% less disdain for your existence than cats do. They have the most human-like eye and facial movements. All the better to ask for your entire sandwich. Oh, there's one. So yes, it seems like you are spot on about Basenji then. Their walking stride can best be described as a 13-year-old boy who thinks he's tougher than he is. They don't bark. Instead, they make a noise that sounds like a kid with a mouthful of Oreos, desperately asking if they can have 6 more Oreos. I'm sorry, this book cracks us up. In our family, we always come back to this one. Basenji owners call it a yodel because just like genuine alpine yodeling, it sounds like they've just had 8 beers. So it's a yeah. Sheldon, I'll find. I'll just give you I'll put the web link, which presumably you can get the book there. Again, it was a Kickstarter project. He does have a store. Does he have a store? There's a store link. Goodness, he even has a podcast. Wow, this guy's got a lot of good stuff going on. Okay, I'm just gonna give the base website and allow you to find whatever you do or do not wish. He also has an Anatomy of Dinosaurs book, which looks uproariously hilarious. Oh man, well thanks for coming over. I appreciate it. If you feel the need to bounce back and forth, I understand, but you're also totally welcome here, and I appreciate having you here. 100%. Yeah, I do remember Lich, by the way. Sorry, I never answered your question. Okay, so now that I've shared like that, which is one of our all-time favorite books in the house, let's go ahead and do Warmup. I think I cleared out all my announcements. So let's go over to our art window here. Oh, there was a little announcement. I can just say it here, which is that with the 3-year stream anniversary coming up on July 3rd, I'm working on some stuff. Today's warm-up is going to be the Pokemon Fusions, which I've been really kind of on a rhythm doing and enjoying doing. So we're going to randomly pick them in just a second here. I don't know what they're going to be. My kids know that I do this, and so my son actually asked me, he's like, oh, which 2 Pokemon are you going to do today? I'm like, I have no idea. We're going to find out right before I do it, which did not seem like a satisfying answer to him, but that's what it is. Okay. Well, that's not right. Hold on a second. I really need to clean this up in OBS. You know? Okay, this is better. Here we are. This will be the warm-up. Let's go ahead and see what we got. You did some drawing? That's awesome. So 2 of the artists that were singing? Oh, that's super cool. Did you share them anywhere? Do you want to share them? I'm happy to have art sharing time here if you feel like it. No pressure. Oh, this will be interesting. Okay, a giant monster crab and a bird. Well, this will be fascinating. So yeah, we got Kingler in its Gigantamax form and Pidgeotto. They look the same, just different hair. Is it that the singers actually look the same, or is it the whole artist same face syndrome? Because I definitely suffer from that sometimes. If it is the latter, you're in good company, for sure. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll go ahead and bring this down and pull up reference, and we'll get ready to get going. got such an angry beard and mustache, this guy. I should try doing 3 into 1. I'm trying to figure out if I want to do that tonight. I might, because I like this draw, I'll probably stick with this tonight. I did do on Pokemon Day, which was February 27th, or the stream closest to that. Let me see if I can pull it up for y'all. I did do the 3 Kanto starters. Where are you? There we go. Yeah, so it was the 26th. So I did do 3 way back on February 26th. And I got either Charquibble or Squallmansaur or Earl. I think Dadix suggested that one. That was a good one. It just seems like an Earl. I agree. So we did do 3 once. This was the Pokemon 30th anniversary fusion that I decided to do. All right. Let's get back to these guys. Yay, did the thing. And when I say I did the thing, it's that I remember to actually label it. Although technically, I may not need to do that as much as I used to. Ashley used to give me a hand with getting my YouTube videos uploaded, and she would do that. And because she, didn't use up her brain space on memorizing Pokemon like I did, she didn't always know them by sight. So I was started putting the names on there, but I do like having them there. Oh, nice. That's really cool. I think when you've got not just the CD, but like that extra kind of personalization or that special thing, I love it. What kind of music was it? Or what kind of music was this artist, at least? Or these 2 artists? All right, Pidgeotto, here you come. I always like to joke. Oh, look, fusion done. Look, I did it. Oh, look, there we go. No. We can do better. Pidgeotto. There we go. Also, when I ask what kind of music, it's not a trap. Just to be clear, there's not going to be any judgment. While I do have my own favorite music genres, I generally do have songs that I like in every genre of music, and therefore will not judge folks for what music they prefer. Yeah, I don't think someone could surprise me in theory, but I think all the major ones I'm good with. Okay, I think I'm actually ready, finally. Whee! All right, timer. So, you know the drill. It's a 5-minute warm-up. We're not looking to finish anything. This is really just to kind of loosen up the arm, loosen up the brain, get thinking about shapes and figures in 3D, and kind of just get ready to work on our main stuff for the night. Okay, so that's a great question. I'm gonna take a second and answer this before I start the timer, because I think it's important to talk about it. It's still your drawing. So you're probably thinking of something, and this is like, especially there's a lot of tools out there that really help with things like this, and they're used by, especially when you like comic artists, to speed up the drawing process. So like I like to use Clip Studio Paint for my art, for example. And Clip Studio, as you might know, includes 3D figures, posable 3D figures. I guess they're going to be raising their hand. I don't really know what I want to do here. It's, oh no, he's a mime. I just made a mime. That's what I did. I made a mime. Cool. Are you gonna, oh, nope. So yeah, you could trace, right, the body shape and figure, but like, if I draw this, if I were to just absolutely copy everything, every line and all the shading, that becomes more questionable. But if I use this to get the body proportions right, and especially if I'm doing a comic and I'm drawing hundreds or thousands of panels, and I'm just using this as a tool to make sure that my stuff is consistent, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. So, you know, you can, again, I consider this to be, I'm just doing this really rough, but I don't know why. At first I thought this was looking like Abraham Lincoln. Now it's looking kind of like Jet Black from Cowboy Bebop. I don't know why I chose this expression. Maybe they also are sad that they are a mime. Got a little kind of beanie beret hat going on there. Yeah, they're very upset about the prospect of their career as a mime. Yeah, so like, there's definitely tools, but it's like, it's the same question I think comes up with a lot of artists about using even just like reference, right? Like, oh, if you're looking at a picture of how to draw the thing, are you really doing it? Well, yeah. As long as you're not just like utterly copying it from start to finish. Like if you're adding your own pieces to it, there we go, there's our mime. Yeah, I mean, every artist wants to be able to, you know, draw everything from scratch from the top of their head, right? Like that's amazing. That's wonderful. If you can do that, kudos to you. And excuse me, perhaps, especially if you work in a single consistent style and with a, you know, especially a single set of characters, a consistent set of characters, eventually you can do that. It's great. But to get there, you still need to do, you know, you need to be practicing getting things right. And I think using reference and even using figures for tracing, I think that's important, and it's a useful tool. Actually, you know what? Hold on. Because you've probably also seen like, oh, no, that's not it. Yeah, okay. Let me paste this in. I think it'll be easier if I just paste it and then try to capture the window. That's tiny. Okay. We've all seen these guys, right? Like, is using one of these cheating? No, I think it's more than half yours. Like, I think you get to claim it. Sure, you followed a guide for the proportions and all of that, but I think the creativity is still yours in terms of what you did for face, like hair, clothes, like expression. There's a lot there. Like, but is using one of these cheating? If you're looking at one of these and you pose it to get proportions right? Or is it, you know, if I was looking at one of those drawing, does half the drawing belong to the person who made the figurine? Well, no, it's just a tool. And I think that the guides and the 3D models, in the end, are all just tools that we use along the way to help us arrive at the final result. If you ask me. Your hand is still moving, you're doing all the work. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, creativity has always been kind of this really interesting gray area. especially like if you think about when they get into copyright law and what's fair use and what's, you know, all that. You could debate a lot of things, and I'm certainly not a scholar in all these areas. But if you ask me, if you did more than just trace exactly what was there, if you added unique clothing and hair and all that, yeah, it's your art. And like I said, you've got professional comic artists who use these types of 3D figures and stuff to maintain consistency and speed up their drawing process. And their images are still theirs. Well, listen, it's totally up to you. You are welcome to share, and I encourage sharing. Do you want to do warm-up and then just let me know at the end, and then we could share afterwards if you feel like it? Because I'd love to see it, honestly. I always encourage art sharing, and I think it's really important to get your stuff out there. Speaking of, I am going to go ahead and start warm-up right now. I encourage everyone to draw along. You don't have to draw the Pokemon. You can draw whatever you like, but I'm going to draw the Pokemon. So, 5-minute timer starts now. I think your question is an interesting one because it also gets like along the lines of like, well, how much has changed? Is that a big part of it? Like, I don't. Like if I trace something but just give it like a different nose, okay, how much of that is mine? Versus if I like design a whole unique outfit and add cool hair. But in the end, just a standard figure is still just a standard, you know, it's just a base that you're building upon. Okay. These are two really interestingly different creatures. So I'm very... I'm working very hard mentally to try to figure out how I'm going to combine them. So definitely the big cloudy beard, and I think we can do the big cloudy mustache like this. Kind of works. Get a little bit of Kingler's eyes and a little bit of Pidgey's eyes. This one should be smaller. Okay, so that's this. Now what am I gonna do about this body? This might finally be it. This might finally be the cursed fusion that breaks me. We will see. It's interesting because there's also entire forms of art that are like collage and entire like subfields that involve manipulating images that already exist. So like I tend to be very liberal and say, you know what, if you added something to this, like it's hard to judge. This is terrifying. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? It's very hard to judge like, okay, what is the true like magnitude of creative input? But again, and I tend to give a lot of leeway on this. If you modified, if you added your voice to something in some way, then I think it still counts as yours. Yeah, I think that's really good. I think, now, do I think that it would be cool, it's a good idea to at some point challenge yourself to do more than just, than draw over? Like, to go ahead and, like, draw everything from scratch? Yes. Do I think that it has to be entirely that to be counted as your own art? No. And I will say there is another aspect to it, which is what is the intended use. Because if it's like, if you're just gonna post it on social media, if you're doing it for your own enjoyment, all that stuff, I think the bar is much lower. You don't have to, you know, if you're not trying to make money from it, that being the big distinction, then I think you have a whole lot more leeway. Versus like if you're trying to make a product that you're going to sell, the bar is much higher to make sure you're not just piggybacking off of somebody else's work for a for-profit thing. Today's not that day. Understandable. Yeah. Okay, that is timer. This is terrifying. What have I wrought? I don't truly know. I'm just darkening up some lines here. I would not want to meet this in a dark alley. Yeah, that's I don't know what else to say about this. I think you've summed it up perfectly. I was gonna call it Kingler, but I think a more appropriate name is Pidgeotto. It's Pidgeotto. Oh, what have I done? What have I done? You know, the point of this warm-up isn't to make a thing of beauty. It's really just to push myself creatively. They're not all gonna be winners. Do I think that this kind of actually hits the assignment perfectly? Yeah, I kind of do. Oh, just a moment. Okie dokie, there we go. Yeah, I definitely think the 4 legs are alarming. The only thing that I think I really missed the mark on here looking at it is like, what is probably the single most identifying feature of Kingler? And it's the claws, right? So then I'm left with the question of, do I add another set of appendages to add the claws? Oh, a Pegasus chicken Santa Claus. I mean, yeah, that is 100% what it is. I'm just gonna test this out because I have to. I'm sorry for what I'm about to do. Yeah, this is I can already tell this could be a mistake. Which is why I did this on an extra layer that I could just turn off when I'm tired of giving myself nightmares. Yeah, that's not better. That's not better. Okay, making it go away. Well, I gotta save. Should I save it? Yes, I save all these. I should. I'm going to save it. But, it's not better. Not better. I really wanted to include kind of the iconic arms there. But no, that's terrifying. Okay, making it go. It's a Pegasus chicken Santa Claus. You have to keep him. Yeah, that's true. I think that's the single best justification I can possibly think of. Okay, making it go away now. There we are. I feel better already. So, what are we working on tonight? Changing the subject away from nightmare fuel quickly. So as part of our summer break issue of CoreToons, which again is the educational comics that we do with a couple of our comics friends. Ashley and I are both meteorologists by education. So we did a cloud observation packet. We actually made this for summer activity packet last year, although that was circulated through different channels. So we wanted to add that into a bigger collection of stuff. But we want these to be printable because a lot of these are going to be going to teachers to potentially print out summer packets for kids, and we don't want to like blast through their color ink if they're doing like 30 of these. So actually is a Pegasus chicken Santa Claus crap. Yes, that's true. So what I'm doing right now is taking the color pages that we have and converting them over to black and white. So for example, our original cloud diagram had, here, I'll turn off the grid, had this, right? And it's full color for the different cloud types, which, hey, that's great for digital. Yeah, so yeah, we want to be considerate to our teacher friends, right? Also parents if they're printing them for kids at home over summer break, stuff like that. So I'm just converting this. Ashley actually did this illustration. I thought it came out really, really well. And yeah, I'm just coming through and converting them all to black and white. So this is the color version, and this one I actually finished. Just lining and adding a filter to take the colored text and turn it into grayscale. Which I could be less lazy and actually go and change it over. I might do that. So I'll make a couple tweaks here just to make it a little bit more readable, but it's in a pretty good place. All right, let's go ahead and do this. I actually used a saturation layer to turn all this into different, into grayscale from its original colored text look. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and change this to just black text for everything. Oh, why did it do that? What just happened? Why is that red? Sorry, you can't see this in my settings. Actually, I'll just desaturate. Just desaturate. Why did you change the font? What happened? Oh, we'll just do that. Easier. Okay. So yeah, just coming through, doing some simple edits here. Nothing super crazy going on. Adjusting the placement a little bit while I'm at it to conflict less with the lines. When it was color, it didn't matter as much, but in this context, I think we need to tweak it. So yeah, I've got a couple more of these where I'm going to be tracing over tracing over a few of these cloud pictures, and then we'll wrap this up probably maybe by break. It should be pretty fast work, but then we'll jump back to D&D illustration after break is my plan. Now, why are you... that's interesting. My Cirrocumulus lines seem like they got erased. Did I do that myself? I'll just redraw those. That's fine. No big. Right, that's going to be real hard to see without the background, so let's go ahead and do that. There we are. Pardon me, goodness gracious. All right, there we are. Okay. Right, there was also something else that did not convert over well. Hold on. It's these, there's actually dashed lines here. You can't see them. There we go. Alright, now I think we have a pretty readable black and white printable worksheet. Pretty happy with that. Okay. Which, by the way, if you're not familiar with your cloud types, let's talk about them. Obviously, your low layer clouds are the ones you probably know the best. Oh, wait a minute. Missed one there. You can't miss the cumulonimbus. You got a call and you got rained on. Well, that's perfect, because I was just talking about cumulonimbus clouds. Well, not talking about, I just did the label for them. No, I I think pretty much wrapped up this page. Whoopsie daisies, there we go. And I was just kind of saying, hey, let's talk about cloud types. We don't have to actually talk about cloud types. But the low-level clouds you do are probably the ones you know the best. Your cumulus, your big puffy cotton ball clouds. Stratus, like a blanket. And cumulonimbus. Nimbus, of course, meaning it's a type of cloud that rains. The other kind we have here is a nimbostratus, which is like a blanket-like cloud that's also dropping rain over you. Altocumulus are smaller, puffy clouds, and then cirrus are those tall, like high up, wispy, mare's tail type clouds. Always made out of ice crystals, actually. And that's just, what was that noise I just made? Oh my gosh. That's what I get for trying to swig coffee. Goodness gracious. All right, that actually is good on this sheet. So I'm gonna start going to our other sheets and tracing over. You don't understand a word. What's this? Clouds? No, I don't know. Hold on. Never leave home without your handy dandy cloud chart. Yeah, so all I'm doing is just like all these represent different types of clouds, right? And they're derived from Latin names, but you know, like for example, your cumulus, these are lower level clouds. They occur closer to the surface. But I'm listening. I appreciate you. Let me just say that. Yeah, so you got your cumulus. They're generally known as fair weather clouds, although they can eventually build into, cumulonimbus or thunderhead clouds. Yeah, I'm not going to read through this whole thing. I'm going to spare you all. But anyway, just a way of breaking down clouds by what you see and what they're doing. That's all that really matters with this one. Yeah, there's the color one again. I'm not going to save you. All right. So I duplicated all the color ones so I can feel free to change these freely. Oh, this is all. Okay. Well, a little bit more of a challenge here. I did not realize these were all single layer. But we got this. So I'm gonna turn off rounding of the corners here. We'll go with 15 is probably way too much, yeah? I think it's too much. What is this, like an 8? Pretty close. I don't know why you keep going outside even though it's raining and cold. You're wearing shorts too? Do you like have a jacket by the door or something at least that you can grab? I don't know why I'm exclaiming this all so loudly. I just apparently am very excited about everything. Checks notes. Everything ever. Cool. Let's go ahead and snap this to the grid to make it a little bit neater. Okay, that seems good. Nope. So why do you go outside then? You don't have to justify yourself to me, it's fine. I am just a random guy on the computer. Okay. And we'll do another vector layer here. You're just walking and end up outside. Oh, are you a wanderer, meanderer, pacer as well? I do this, especially when I'm on the phone. I tend to just walk about. Just walk about. I have no idea, probably. Yes, then it sounds almost 100% like you are. This is how it goes. So yeah, this page of the booklet, really the whole idea of this booklet that we're doing is to, get kids looking up at the sky and thinking about what they're seeing, and kind of getting to where they can kind of name some of the big forms of main forms of clouds that you would see, and start looking at and thinking about like patterns. What does this mean for the weather when I see this kind of cloud? That type of thing. Yeah. Yeah, I've gotten better because usually nowadays, if I'm on the phone, I'm just chilling out on the sofa and I'm drawing at the same time, which helps a lot for not meandering. But If I get moving about, I'm very much a pacer slash wanderer when I'm talking on the phone, especially. Yes, children, look at this. No, don't look at it. Did you see the Disney movie Luca? It came out kind of like during COVID or towards like the tail end of it. So like we saw it as a Disney Plus release. I don't know if it ever got a theatrical release, but there's this. It's about like sea monsters, right, coming up to the surface, and when they do, they transform into just, you know, human looking. And like one of the parts is like they're like, oh, all the best things are on the surface, like the sun. Don't look at it. Just kidding. Definitely look at it. Yeah, the Fish Boy one. Yep, that's it. We love that movie in this house. We quote it often. I don't do anything there. I'll just let that be. Okay. On to Stratus. How do I want to do this? No, that's not quite what I'm going for. That's not quite it either. Let's look at a reference. I don't know how well you remember that movie, but like one of our most quoted family lines from the movie is like, "Who wants to watch me eat a big sandwich?" Yeah. We don't eat that many big sandwiches in our house. It's just a funny moment. Oh, I have no idea where I'm going with this. Okay. Yep. Until I got the Jaggy, that was going pretty well. It's 11 a.m. and you haven't eaten yet? Please. Yes, you definitely should eat food. My goodness. It's funny because I'm not myself well, I've gotten better over the last several years / decade of actually eating a pretty solid breakfast. Although some days it's just like a coffee mixed with like protein powder. But it's something. It's something. Breakfast is actually kind of, you know, the most important meal of the day. So please do eat. What are you going to eat? But I'm going to go with a lighter line here to show that these are the lighter, wispier clouds. You forget to eat until your belly growls. Yeah, that's an identifiable feeling. Spaghetti in a tin? You know what? Fair. I think 11:07 a.m. is a perfect spaghetti in a tin time. I mean, I'm definitely guilty of in my earlier days having like cold pizza for breakfast, which honestly, pretty delicious. Clean up this little straggler line right here. Okay. Now you want cold pizza? I mean, it's good stuff, right? Yep. Okay, I can probably turn the grid off, which will make things a little easier to see. From Ashley, responding real quick. Shading behind it to kind of give some of that try that again. Alright, 1 second. I will be right back. I'm not even going to go on be right back mode because I'm just going to hop off for a second. I shall return shortly. Okay, and I actually remembered to unmute this time, so that's exciting. Your dog's following you everywhere. He doesn't realize he's coming with. So, yeah, dogs are so good at recognizing like when we're packing up for something, and then they're like, "No, don't leave me." Imagine how happy they'll be to know that they're coming with. I'm gonna add a little bit. Either that or your dog just wants the spaghetti. It could be both. Nothing, not to doubt your dog's affection for you and concern for potentially being without you for, you know, a short span of time. But I do believe dogs also like spaghetti. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I had to step away. I just talking with Ashley, planning for tomorrow for something, or I guess non-planning. Planning. Yeah, it's a long story. It's a long story. I'm not gonna go into it. Okay. Okay. I'm satisfied with this page. Oh, I do want to. Oh, yeah. I gotta turn this back on to grayscale. The logo. There we go. Small change, important for printing. Fixed. I'll add a layer here. Layer, new correction layer, saturation minus 100%. Put it at the top of the stack. Boom. You 100% want some food too. Yeah, I mean this is the way of dog. Okay. Let's see. So yeah, by the way, the idea of this page is talking about kind of the big chunks of cloud names. So you kind of know like, okay, if this cloud name has a cumulo form, it means it's a puffy cloud. If it's strato, it means it's like a blanket. If it's a cirro or cirrus, it's like a wispy light cloud. Hey, Eastpatch, how's it going? Thank you. Wow, guys, welcome on in. It's good to see you all. How you doing? I hope you're having a good night. For the children! What? Do I want to ask the backstory behind this one? Oh, this is convenient. It's a charity stream. Okay, gotcha. What are the slick clouds? This is actually part of an activity packet we're doing. So we do the educational comics with our other comics friends as part of CoreToons, and we're making a summer activity packet because a lot of our readers, which is not a huge share, but a lot of our readers are teachers, so we're making activities for them to send home. I'm actually doing some conversion right now to make it all grayscale to make it easily printable for them, but this is a cloud observation booklet. Yeah, like I do art. I love doing art, but my education actually, and my day job is in meteorology. Both my wife and I are meteorologists by education. Yeah, so I can show, hold on, let me pull up the whole packet. Yeah, so this is taking, like we've got our series that we do weather-wise or sunny skies, depending on the age group, with similar characters, and we adapted those characters and we have a cloud identification packet. Thanks, yeah. I'm really happy with how this is coming out so far. So yeah, you've got your guide to the different types of clouds, you know, a little educational nugget about why clouds are important. Then you've got kind of the main 4 types of clouds that you're going to be looking for, and what they mean. And then I'm This is my last page. I'll have to convert to black and white entirely. But yeah, you just go outside, mark the day, mark the time, and circle what kind of cloud you got. Oh, Riatzala, thank you. Yes, real serious business. I appreciate that very much. Oh, I forgot. I'd heard of that, the Young Eagles, but I really haven't. Oh, I wonder if that would be useful for them. That would be cool. I'd be happy to contribute something. That's for sure. But yeah, so then we have, for CoreToons, we divide our audience. Our whole audience is kindergarten through 5th grade. But we divide it up into 2 groups: Early Worms, which is the K through 2nd grade group, and Big Apples, which is 3rd through 5th. So we try to reduce the number of words and make things a lot simpler for K through 2. I forgot that it's just right there on the page. You can see it yourself. Sorry. Let me just explain the exact words that you're looking at right now. Oh my goodness. Ooh, how hard is pencil shading, in my opinion? When you're starting out, it's pretty tricky. I think the more you do it, the better. Like, the easier it gets. I'm still, like, my primary medium is digital. That being said, I have a day job and I am a compulsive doodler, so I do a lot of shading myself, and kind of working on developing that skill set. Oh, a local weather station? That's cool. I missed that, by the way. Like the like a TV station or like a weather service office? Would I recommend? Usually start your sketches off with hardness. Well, when I'm doing shading, I don't usually like. I actually, if I'm doing something in color, I don't like to use straight up gray. I like to use something that has a little bit of color to it. I'll often use something with a bit of purple. Hold on, let me. My process is usually flat colors, and then I lay down shading on top of that. And because I come from a very cartoony style preference, I will actually start off with hard shadows. So for example, hold on, I've got a comic around here somewhere I can show you. I better have a comic around here. I do them all the time. So this is actually like one of the comics that was in here, right? We use this as a base for the cover of the packet, one of the panels in here. So this is how I like, you know, my kind of preference for shading is just very hard cell shaded type stuff, right? But I do like to experiment doing other styles. So the other piece that I was going to work on tonight later is actually this group D&D illustration. And that one I'm doing a lot softer shading and rendering things more bunny. Yes, you did raid me before. Yep, that was me. The Year of the Horse. I recognize some of you guys coming on in. Did you guys ever see the finished horse? Because I can definitely show you that after. I was just going to show you the shading that I was talking about with one of the finished characters here. Yeah, this is a D&D party, so that's a Tortle Artificer you got there. But like for these, I like to do a little bit more kind of nuance. But even with this, I'll start out with a cell shaded look, and I'll use a blending tool to soften it. If I'm doing it by pencil, then I obviously, you know, start out really light and layer in the colors or layer in the darkness. That's my preference. Yeah, if you're looking to to really get a feel for it. Like the circle, the unit sphere is basically going to be your best friend. Let me bring up the horse because I know you guys rated me before when I was working on it, so I'll show you that because I don't think I finished it while you were here. Maybe I was close, but hold on, let me just show you that one. There we are. So yes, this is my year of the horse piece. And you guys suggested the horse needed to be named Greg. And I did at least I worked that in. It wasn't in the final piece, but it's there. Greg is there. Thank you. Yes, Greg the horse, delivering the red envelopes. Is that a very Franklin? Wait, which thing are we talking about? I kind of lost track. Sorry. Yeah. I am happy with my Greg. This may be the best of the Lunar New Year illustrations I've done. Yeah, so I started in 2020 with the Year of the Rat. That was a few years after we brought our son home from China. And we've started celebrating Lunar New Year for a few years. Oh, that's awesome. I think feedback is so important. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think I have 6 out of 12. Because let me think here. I think we have them up on our website. I'll check it out real quick. Fortnite though, that is great that you are out there, that you're getting feedback, that you're looking to learn. Are you part of a Discord that shares art, or are you part of a critique group? Because if you are not, I would very much recommend doing that. 2, 3, yeah. So I have rat, ox, tiger, rabbit, dragon, snake, and horse done. Actually, I just realized my website is a way better way of showing that. A bunch of Blender communities, cool. Yeah, I think it's what I've learned in my journey so far, which is, I'm not a famed artist or anything like that, but I've grown a lot, and I learned that a lot of my growth has come from the help of awesome critique partners, and sharing my work and getting feedback on my work so I can improve. Not that the feedback is always easy to hear, but it's probably quite healthy to actually hear it. Okay, so just you were asking about the cycle, Riatzala, and yeah, so this is what we got so far. There's this year's Year of the Snake, last year, Year of the Dragon, obviously, 2024, Year of the Rabbit, Year of the Tiger. And what's interesting is if you go back to 21 and 20, that was when Ashley and I were working more in like picture book, and I was trying to emulate more of a painterly style. So these were a little bit different. Chirpy, yeah. Yeah. I just need to do it is the thing. I want to get there. I'm thinking my goal is to launch that at least by the time I do my 3-year stream anniversary in July. But I would like to do my own Discord server. I'm on Discord pretty frequently. Our CoreToons group actually meets and communicates through Discord. I just need to I just need to start it and figure out what I'm going to do for moderation, because I don't, as a parent of 2 with a full-time job, I don't always have a huge amount of time for that. But I would love to do that, and I would love to have a place for people to freely share their stuff. But anyway, yeah, so with this, I'm halfway through the lunar cycle, which look forward to filling that out as I go. I guess I might have a sketch somewhere of pig, which I think was right before rat, because it was dog, pig, or was it pig, dog? I can't remember. Monkey might have been in there. I'm a little blurry. At any rate, back to Greg, close down that. Okay. All of that is a long way to say. Any tips on body proportion? Oh, that's a good one. It's tricky because body proportion varies greatly by the age of the character you're drawing, and it varies greatly by style. Oh, thank you. So you're a rabbit fan, yes. Really like the dragon, and being a rabbit, gotta love it too. You know, it's just, I think you just have to make sure that things make sense for where you draw them, right? Like, because it's like one of the most common ways to measure proportions is by the number of head heights that you do. I find that a little bit unwieldy sometimes to deal with, but like, let me get a bigger pen going here and a darker. Okay, but like, you know, you got your head. I don't particularly like to. I like to feel it out based on the age of the, you know, or based on what I know about the character, where the age is. But you know, you draw your neck in here, draw your torso, kind of boxy, and then you know that the hands come down to about like here, right, just below the waistline. And there's the tip basically where it'll roughly come out and make sense if you divide the body up. I squish this at the bottom a little bit here and kind of mess that up, but yeah, if you basically divide it up into fourths, it's an easy way to do it that works with most proportions. That's better. So your knees are about at the 1/4 line. Your waist is about at the 1/2 line. Your shoulders are about at the 3/4 line, and then the top of the head is at the 1. Oops, all ears. Yeah, exactly, Chirpy. Right. This is what they're meant to look like. And I think this works pretty well. Like, so if you draw, I'm testing this by the way live, so if this doesn't work, sorry. Yeah, this is a bit unwieldy for characters that are more chibi-ish, I'm now seeing. But this is why I say it varies, right? It depends a lot on your style and how you prefer to do it. You know, Chirpy and I were just talking about the idea of like, what about tracing? What about using 3D models? And for example, if you use Clip Studio, they fully expect that you're going to want to do this, especially because it's made for comics and for drawing quickly. So they just give you these guys, right? And let me see if I can turn on the navigator. Oh, you can't see this, can you? I always forget that the 3D models in Clip Studio don't show up here. Oh yeah, no problem. Listen, I will sit and talk about art all day long. I really do enjoy it. So I'm glad it's helpful for you. Why won't this show up? Okay, I forgot that it does this. So what I have to do is convert it to a raster, and then I think it's magically going to show up for you. Yep, there it is. Okay, so Clip Studio gives you these 3D models that you can manipulate and basically trace over to get consistent proportions. You can actually edit the settings for the character. So I'm gonna drop in another one, but I'm gonna mess with it a little bit. Hold on, I'm in a different window right now, so there we go. Wow, this is kind of disturbing. All right. Okay. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? What is this? What have I done? Oh no. That's okay. So Clip Studio lets you mess with some of these things, and I'm just so sorry. This is like the most ripped chibi I've ever seen. Tiny baby man. But yeah, you can mess with like head proportion and all of that, and this is so wrong. Anyway, yes, so I don't even know where I was going. I distracted myself with this ridiculous 3D model. You know, there's tools like that. There's actually tons of like posable figures that you can get in all sorts of proportions that will help you get an eye for it and pose it and draw it, depending on how you want to do things. Ah, okay, yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah. Born in the Year of the Rabbit. I myself was born in the Year of the Dog, so I'm partial to that as well. Although I do enjoy a good rabbit character. One of our kiddos is deep in their Zootopia phase right now, and they have like a Judy Hopps hat, and they're always wearing it around the house. So we have a ton of rabbit. We have a rabbit person in the house right now. So there's tools like this, right? And you can use it to kind of get body proportions. In the end, the best thing you can do is draw. There's tons of even YouTube videos, or you can Google image search for just figure drawing. And you know, if you want to be extra careful, you can always look for safe for work, just to make sure that these are models that are wearing, you know, clothing, whatever you want to do. But you can look this up and just practice drawing them and get that kind of natural feel for proportion, so that you can manipulate it as you need to for your character. Whether it's a stylistic choice or whether it's adjusting the age of the character so they read as a kid, or they read as a teenager, or they read as an adult, or as they read as like an elderly person. You never got around to the second one? We saw the second one in our family. We enjoyed it. Same story, different species, basically. I would say there's more than that. There's even, you know, and it's not just down to nuance, if you ask me. Sorry, I was just reading the comments about the tiny muscle baby model. I was cracking up a little bit. Oh, yeah. It's right now, our life is very much, you know, Disney Plus. That's primarily where we watch a lot of our TV. Which is good. There's like ridiculous amount of stuff on there, and there's a lot of really good movies for grown-ups. There's also like all the great National Geographic shows, stuff like that. But yeah, that's where we live for the most part. It doesn't hurt that we live literally in Disney's like backyard. Like y'all missed it a little while ago, but at like 10 o'clock, Disney Magic Kingdom shoots off their closing fireworks show, and we can see it from our house actually. So we're kind of a Disney family anyway, so we naturally lean that way. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start adapting this one, and just tracing over so I can make sure we got everything pretty much ready to go. I think our goal is by mid-May to have this ready for our summer packet for the kiddos. Yeah, and again, the goal of this is Ashley did a lot of the work to prep this packet, and we actually sent it out just like this last summer, but since of the fairly small audience we have, a lot of them are teachers, so we're really trying to reduce the color ink usage and make it very print and photocopy friendly. That's okay, you're good. You're good. You're certainly allowed to have your opinion, or be facetious. It's fine. How does weight painting use on the software you use? So Clip Studio doesn't really do anything. I'm vaguely familiar because I know that's a Blender thing, and I have a few reference books on Blender, but I've not worked through them to really learn. Now, Clip Studio does let you paint your 3D models now as of version 5.0. But what actually could you say a little bit more about what weight painting means in the context that you're using? Because like I think I have an idea of it, but I'm not sure that it's the same as your idea, and I want to make sure that I'm kind of speaking the same language. Okay, so that's this one. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and snap to the grid here. I think we chose like a 10-point line for these. Maybe not. I'm not gonna be able to match these if I snap to the grid. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. Now, in some artists, I don't tend to work this way. Oh, how much control? Gotcha. So Clip Studio doesn't quite have that, because we don't do rigging in Clip Studio, right? Now you can move 3D models, but all of that I think is already kind of rigged up ahead of time, and it's not something if you want to make a model in Blender, perhaps that's something that you can include in it. But it's not something that Clip Studio does in and of itself. We do have, like, if you're familiar with something like Live 2D, there is a transform tool that works sort of similar to what Live 2D does, but not, I think, quite as sophisticated. It's not meant for animation. It's meant to just adjust the posing of a single image like once. I've tried messing with it with things, and it does not like being moved more than once. Pardon me. Yeah, so there's not really weight painting in Clip Studio. That you can drop in the 3D models, you can pose them, but you have no real control over how the mesh moves. That's all done. That's all done elsewhere. If that makes sense. Okay, so just get these guys traced in. I guess what I was thinking you were talking about was maybe how some artists in digital art in general, but also in Clip, will like to do their values first. They'll do they'll render everything out in grayscale, adjusting only the values first, and then they'll use that as like an overlay layer on top of their flat colors. But that's very different than weight painting from what you're saying. It sounds like you do a lot with Blender, Fortnite. And that's really cool. I respect that a lot. It's one of those things where I've started learning multiple times, but I've never really been able to invest the coherent time to get like super competent with it. If that makes sense. Oh, that's cool. Oh my gosh, East Patch, I don't know if you're still here. I didn't even ask you what you were streaming and how your stream went. I'm so sorry. I got very distracted. How was stream if you're here? There's a whole game night with their voice actors? Very cool. And anytime I hear voice actors, my ears immediately perk up, especially. I think that voice acting is such a cool field. Alright, what did I do? 10, I think? Maybe 8 on this one. Now, I do fully intend for like some of the other layers, I'm going to just go ahead and do a saturation correction layer to grayscale out like logos and stuff like that. I wanted to actually trace over the cloud lines to make them a little bit jump out a little bit more, so that because with the smoother edges, I feel like they in a grayscale are going to blend in much more, and I think we can reduce the ink usage even a little bit more by doing it this way. You guys, this has been like, it's so cool when like a bunch of people drop by. This night has gone by so fast. This stream has, like, I've got a little bit of time left, so I'm not dropping just yet. But yeah, wow, it's been cruising. I'm excited because this is actually my the start of my weekend. I've been taking off some days, some Fridays this last month or so, just to get a little bit of family time and kind of decompress from work, and it's nice. This is a great way to kick off my weekend. Yeah, I was so glad to see you again, Riatzela. Thanks for coming by, and yeah, I hope you have a good night. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. And also, you know, charge your phone for your own benefit. Have a good one. Almost. I need to clean that up a little bit. How do I... There we go. Better. Better. So out of curiosity, for everyone who's here in chat, How many of you are artists here? I'm curious because it's been really interesting to me how most of the time here on Twitch, when I'm streaming, anyone who comes in, almost everybody is an artist, which has been kind of incredible. More of a hobby artist. That is still a kind of artist, if you ask me. Chirpy, yeah, for sure, for sure. I don't really have any angle to this. This is just kind of a out of curiosity, informal head count type thing. Okay, well, at least a couple. At least a couple. I don't know, it's really cool. I think, I don't know. So this is funny because I mentioned, like, by schooling, I'm a meteorologist. But I've always drawn. I've always loved drawing, and I've always loved art. I've been drawing comics since at least 3rd grade, 4th grade, something like that. And even in my meteorology classes, like, I was the guy who was just doodling constantly in the margins of my notes. And making like a web comic for fun. I didn't even know good places to post web comics, or I had no concept of marketing. It was literally just I threw it up on a GeoCities webpage for like me and like 3 friends, and that was it. And yet I never got the hint that, like, hey Jeff, maybe you want to be an artist instead. So being so focused on going into like science, math, meteorology, my last art class was actually in like 7th grade or something, really far too long ago than that. But yet it's like one of my favorite consistent memories was the feeling of just being there in the art studio. It was actually in this big like lofted room, high ceiling room in our junior high. And this big open space, big tables, there'd be like 4 or 5 of us at each table. And it was just this really cool art studio feeling of everyone's working on their stuff, but we're all chatting, we're all laughing. At that point in time, like, we were just constantly quoting Monty Python and the Holy Grail. It was just a really happy, cool feeling, and I absolutely loved it. And what I did not expect, but have been very happy about, is that streaming on Twitch and ending up having so many artists in stream with me has very much given me that feeling back of being back in like an art studio. Because the other thing is that we all love to draw, so most of the time when people are here, they're also drawing. Right? It feels like magic in a lot of ways. And maybe this is just my ADHD talking. But for me, I get way more excited about the idea of a blank page, than about, and this is also kind of crossing over into my work area, but like starting on a new project or tackling like a new interesting problem. I get so excited about that versus like the idea of like sitting and trying to fine tune in something and do all the detail work on something that I've already mostly done. The good news is I haven't quite hit the equivalent of that in art, where like I really like it. Like, one of the last phases I do on a piece is shading usually. And I love the shading. It's so zen. Definitely magic when I forget I'm drawing and suddenly draw something very big and detailed. Like, how did I do that? Yes. Yeah, it's yeah, sometimes it feels like we ourselves are separate from the act of creating the art that we make. Which, like, in some ways, like, shouldn't that sound unsettling to us? But no. I think there's something about that act of expression where it's just coming from, like, somewhere so deep inside of you that, you know, it feels like it just kind of flows out naturally. How do I want to do this? Chirpy, do you ever get anything where you're working on a piece? Like, this happens to me because usually, like, stream doing art for 2 hours is the longest that I get to focus on a single thing. If you can call this focusing, you know, at once. So then that means all my work tends to be, all my pieces, like, they tend to be broken up over several sittings, right? But that feeling, especially when you're working on something that's like really big and you're just kind of chipping away at it little bit, and then you one day look at it and you're like, oh, it's done. And also, wow, look how huge this is. Like, look how much stuff. Oh, I was like, do you ever get the thing where, like, you've got a big piece that you're working on, a big illustration, and it's you're not working on it, you're not knocking it out all at once. So you're working on it in all these little bits, but, like, it just feels like you're in the rhythm of just, like, you're always doing these little detailed pieces, and then all of a sudden one day you look at it and you're like, oh, this is done. I've actually finished it. Yeah, and almost, even though you did it, it almost feels like you didn't do it because you don't have the feeling of knocking it out all at once. Ooh, how do I do fog as line art? Challenging. Okay, I'm up for this. I'm up for the challenge. Hello? There we go. You've sat and drawn for 8 hours on stream once? Oh, nice, dude. Yeah, I'm a bit of a baby streamer. Yeah, I go live one night a week when, you know, and I go live after the kids are already in bed, at 10. And then I stream until basically I can't afford to stay up any longer, which is usually about now, midnight, and I need to be like, okay, I need to start heading towards bed. Oh, nice. So wait, FI Studio, am I saying that right? Is that right? Trial version. Trial versions of software, man. FL, okay. I appreciate that we can try software out for free, but man, they definitely know how to ratchet it up so that it's so inconvenient and pushes your patience to try to force you to buy the full version. Which, I mean, fair. They can't, not, you know, people can't usually work for free. It becomes hard to, you know, pay rent and buy food. Okay. All right. So I think we might actually have this. So here's the backups of the color version. Actually, I will duplicate this one as well. Wait. Come on. There we go. Okay. And really all I'm doing with this one is adding a desaturation layer to make the logo grayscale, which is easy enough. I can tweak this check. I can, wow, my words are crazy right now. I can tweak this text. Where's our line spacing? So 161.3. Change the font, of course. How's that looking? Okay, so clear these guys out. Okay, one more. You mainly stream when you want to draw, and it's 8 hours because it has. I mean, that's awesome. That's great. I mean, I think that's the way to do it, right? Like that way you get the time in, you get the concentrated, like focused effort, but you're also hanging out and having a good time. Like, what a better way to do it? Like, what a great way to do it. I don't know that there is a better way to do it. That's awesome. I definitely have a little bit of envy. I am unable to do that. You know, even with my 9 to 5, it is hard to get in a concentrated 8 hours. I have to spread my 8 hours out over the course of time with, you know, breaks for stuff. I work from home, by the way, which, while it sounds like I'm complaining, I actually wouldn't do it any other way. I absolutely love being a part of my family life during the day. It's pretty amazing. Okay. I think we got it. Okay. We did it, guys. Okay, it's 12:05. Usually I would end about here. I can go a couple of minutes later because I kind of want to do something on this piece, even if it's not particularly a lot. So I think I'm going to try to get some flats down for this turtle, whose name is Shellington. And maybe after I get the flats down, we'll call it. I feel like that seems fair. Yeah, I already inked this guy. If you're not familiar with this project, I've been working on this one for a while now. I've penciled all 23 characters and familiars in this campaign. I'll do the thing. I'll do the thing. That makes it easier to show kind of what's already there. So yes, everybody's been penciled. I know what all the characters look like. I have a rough sketch of the background. I'm just now going in and inking and coloring and shading everybody one by one. I finally have worked my way into the back row, meaning after this turtle, I only have 3 big characters and then 1 wolf sidekick. Yay, yes, we did it. We did. It was a team effort. I count you guys. Yeah, you were here. You absolutely contributed. So we're almost there. I've been working on this one for a bit. This is a library campaign, which means it's drop in, drop out. It's open to everybody, so it's absolutely huge. But that's part of why I like it so much. It's been really nice and fun. We're on a hiatus right now because the county's opening up a new library, and our librarian who runs the D&D game is actually going to be moving over to that library, and until they open up, he's we're not having any D&D sessions, so we're in a holding pattern. So I'm trying to finish this before we meet up again. Okay, so this character is very specifically a yellow-bellied slider turtle. That is the model, and that's what this guy looks like. So I guess coloration is going to be a little bit. Yeah, he's got some unique patterns there. Let's see. Got a yellow here that's kind of close to the mark, but I'm gonna green it up slightly. We'll start with that. Set my reference layer because I always forget to do that. So I'll lay the kind of, that might not actually be a sharp enough green. I might push that a bit more yellow again. Yeah, I think that's more it. Okay. And yes, I am fully aware that I could and maybe should have just been using the color picker, but apparently I am being prideful and trying to do this all just by like eyeballing it. Why? No real idea. Maybe I just like to make my life difficult. Oh, maybe I don't want to make the... No, I can use this really dark rich brown for this, the shell. Okay, feeling like we're getting there. That might be too much though. What I can do. Lighten up to this brown, and then I can lighten this one up a little bit. Because I will be shading, and I'm gonna add saturation on top of this, so I probably don't want to overdo it here. Okay, so before, I might just do this black pattern over the top in a separate layer and then kind of isolate it out. No, I should look at some more reference too. Yes, this was a great idea to start this complicated project, complicated coloring mission right before I was gonna end stream. This was a good idea. Great plan. Very good, sir. Okay, this. The best plan. I excel at time management and planning. Truly, my greatest strengths. Yeah, I'm just roughing these in right now, and then I'll clean it up and possibly merge it down with the layer below. Maybe not. Maybe I won't. I don't know. Definitely have the stripes that run kind of down the length of the arm. And in parallel, so we're doing that. Seems like it kind of goes across the knuckles. Kind of looks like he has a mustache when I do it this way. I don't know if that's what the player wanted, but mustache for my turtle character. Cool. I'm sure it's fine. Yeah, again, this is just really roughing it in. I'll probably be figuring out the rest later as I go, or tightening it up at least. I'll do that on a different stream. His tail, I'm guessing, is gonna also have a similar kind of situation going on here. Alright, yeah, I can see that I'm kind of fading here, so I'm gonna just wrap up this leg, and I think that's gonna do it for tonight. Yeah. So this is a dragon fruit tree on the back, and some other various forms. We've got a wrench in here. I can fill in the wrench. That's easy. That's easy enough. Okay. Nope, that is apparently not a closed line. Or I just didn't click correctly. There we go. We'll give this a nice silvery buckle on here. I feel like that'll work. Actually, hold up. What I want is a nice steampunky brass, because that's going to go with these goggles that are on top here. There we go. That's what I wanted. Blue, so that it doesn't imply that they're like a sunglass type hinge. Make sure that these buttons are brassy to match with it. Okay. Look at all the decisions we made. Okay. Yeah, I do want to get another reference on the underside of the shell, because some of them have patterns or modeling on the shell. Yeah, like this. Okay, I will figure that out later. That is future Jeff's problem, and I have full confidence in him. I also, even if I don't, I'm just not gonna deal with it tonight. That's fine. We're great. Everything's wonderful. All right, so that wraps it up for our time. I'm gonna hop back over here. Hey. Yeah, gosh, this flew by. This was great, y'all. I had a great time. I'm happy with the progress we made. The CoreToons packet is done. We had some great art chat. I got a little bit more further in the D&D piece. We're good. So, announcements. Reminder, next week, no stream due to child theater production and company in town also. If I can somehow swing a makeup stream in somewhere, I will. I think I'm off tomorrow and one more Friday. If I do that, I will post a story here on Twitch with as much advance notice as I can manage. But I'll do that. Otherwise, the plan is that I will see you guys on May 14th. That's 2 weeks from today. At which point I will be working on our Games Done Quick donation piece. That will be, the games list comes out tomorrow, so I'll be picking from that to determine what game I'm doing. I'll be figuring out what the format is, and I should be at least well underway. If I haven't already, I should have picked my piece, picked my format, and be well on my way past sketch and probably into some kind of inking, I would hope, by then. So that's the plan. Per usual, this stream will show up on my YouTube next Wednesday. That's our usual schedule, is at noon Eastern time, the Wednesday after stream, it shows up. I want to thank all of our raiders. Each patch, thank you for bringing oh my gosh, my words are failing me. Thank you for bringing everybody by. This was awesome. I love it when people come by and chat art and we get to hang out. So thanks for coming by. I appreciate you. I believe I've followed you. If I have not, I'm going to, and I want to check out one of your streams. So thank you so much for Raiders for coming in. Thank you, Chirpy, for being here and hanging out. I hope you have a really great camping trip, and that your dog likes the spaghetti. I don't know if you gave your dog any of the spaghetti, but yeah, it's been great hanging out. Fallen, I think I saw you in here at some point. I hope you had a really good birthday. I hope to catch up with you and Frank soon. Frank, if you're watching this at any point, I plan on reaching out messengers to check in. I hope all is going well for you. Yeah, so if you liked what you saw here, obviously feel free to drop a follow here on Twitch. You can find my other work as well as full VODs of all of my streams over at my socials here. So we're WagWorksGA everywhere we are, which is primarily Twitch, YouTube, and Instagram. Although Instagram is kind of dead right now. Maybe we'll revive that someday. But yeah, YouTube and here on Twitch are the best places to find me. You can also check out our website. That has probably more recent work than Instagram, and that's just www.wagworksga.com. I showed you some of the illustrations of the Lunar New Year stuff earlier. We've also got some progress pieces of this D&D piece, as well as some of our comics, like some info on some of the graphic novel projects Ashley and I have worked on, a blog, a store, all that good stuff. So that's there. If you liked the packet that I shared, that's all part of CoreToons. You can see our Substack there if you want to get updates when we do send stuff out there. It's been a little bit quiet on Substack. But you can also check out we just have a website called over there, lovereading.co/CoreToons. That's where you'll find all of our CoreToons stuff. And be able to read a lot of the comics there. Actually, I forgot to share this earlier. If you want to check out one of our digital magazines, our most recent one, the April issue, is available to view. There's no sign up, no fee. You can just go to this link right here. That's www.lovereading.co, all one word, /CoreToons, also all one word, /Tribune-April-2026. Again, you can just go to that link. There's an embedded digital magazine reader there. There's no signups. It doesn't cost anything. You can just check it out, and it's got some fun activities, links to I think a time lapse that I did, an interview. I got to do an interview with our feature artist, who's oh my gosh, my brain is not functioning. Cesar Lador, who's, oh my gosh, he's incredible, and he's a really cool guy to talk to. There's all sorts of stuff there, so feel free to check that out as well. Enjoy. Our mod Frank is not here, but he's an awesome mod, and he is a good guy, and you should check out his stuff, which you can find over on his Instagram, which is Loosey Goosey Comic, all one word. And also, I'm just going to give him a shout out because he hasn't streamed in a while, but he sometimes goes in phases where he streams frequently. And when he does, you can see him not only playing games, but also doing art during his like lobby waiting times. Frank has been a big part of this community, and I always try to give him a shout out, even when he's got life going on and can't make it. I think that's everything. So again, I just want to thank everybody for coming by. This was really great. I had a wonderful time. I hope you guys had a great time too. I will be back in 2 weeks. I'll probably post a story next Thursday just to remind everybody of that fact that I won't be streaming. Not that we're a giant community, but we do have, I do try to like let the people who are going to show up know when I'm not going to make it. I'm trying to be much better about that. Yeah, that's about it, everybody. So I just want to say thank you again. I hope you have a good rest of your night. I hope you have a good week. I hope you have a good couple of weeks if I don't stream before the 14th. Yeah, I will just see you next time. Thank you again, everyone. Bye.